What is up, YouTube, and welcome to this Supergirl Season 2 finale episode review and breakdown. So, a very patchy season, I felt, for Supergirl Season 2. I felt that really all of the Arrowverse shows, with the exception of Arrow, which was great from the off on Season 5, I think that Supergirl Season 2, the start of the show, really did have some problems. It wasn't focused. But afterwards, once we learned just what the Daxams were doing and who they were and why they were doing what they wanted to do, well, that was when this show really did actually pick up. Now, really there wasn't much of a story arc, to be honest, for Kara. We did have the Mon-El love storyline, but we never had a season-long enemy, just like Savitar, Prometheus, and the Legion of Doom over on Legends of Tomorrow. So I really do feel that that is what they didn't do. I felt that it was a real letdown. However, the latter half, this kind of pod of Daxam episodes, I think really did work. And I think that this show will actually do a lot better next season if they follow the Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. model, which is pretty much just having pods of storylines and then them all linking together at the end of the season, which I think does actually work better. So we have really a lot of less filler. There's not as much filler on the episodes. But this episode did a fantastic job, I think, of rounding out the season and setting up the next season. So it really was the final fight, and I did call it. I knew that Zod would simply just be a mind control thing. There was silver kryptonite, which really isn't a big thing in the comics. However, silver kryptonite in Smallville was created by Brainiac. So you have to wonder, they have kind of sort of shouted out the villain Brainiac on this show, which is pretty damn awesome as well. And I'd love to see Brainiac, especially I've just finished Injustice 2, which was stunning, and you can check out the gameplay on my channel, and I'll be streaming that more. Brainiac I think would work really well on this show. Granted, it is more a Superman villain, but there's no Superman TV show for these to actually be villains of. So that's how I think that that would possibly work. So the finale, I think, it worked. The Superman thing was resolved pretty much instantly, and it made sense. The questions were like, well, why would Supergirl face off against the invaders if, well, Superman's still around? But it made sense because Supergirl actually defeated him, and then she became the champion of Earth, which some sound logic there. Personally, Tyler Hoechlin's version of Superman, I'm not too convinced by him. I liked him as Clark Kent, and it cracks me up that Cat Grant is just so really turned into a giddy schoolgirl around him. But he's not big enough. He needs to really hit the gym. I think Henry Cavill, for me, is one of the best Superman looks because he's swole AF. So there is that, but Superman probably will be back next season. I love the fact that they brought in the Cadmus storyline and the people who were looking for Mon-El by the end. So we had the Daxams and all this. And it was pretty neat that Lena Luthor was still involved. And it does make sense that Project Cadmus were involved as well and taken with the whole thing with the turning lead into the air and all that business. So, you know what? The wrapping up of storylines and plot lines was pretty well done, especially having the other Martian as well on the show, which was pretty cool as well, to be honest. So we got that storyline, which I think is a bit odd considering the age difference between the actors. So I'm not too sure about that, but I'm hoping next season we see more of Martian Manhunter because he is OPAF, and of course he is one of the original members of the Justice League, seemingly replaced by Cyborg in the Justice League movie, which I'm not a fan of. I don't like Cyborg. I'm sorry. If you like Cyborg, I'm sorry. Please don't dislike the video. I just think he's a bit shit. Booyah. But the rest of this episode, I kind of think the final battle between Rhea and Supergirl wasn't that good. It kind of felt that was kind of like something to get out of the way so then they can carry on the other parts of the stories or just lead up to and then just get rid of. It wasn't really the focal point of the episode, which was the relationships, which is where Supergirl actually falls down to be honest, on a lot of its actual plot lines, which is a real shame. But we had mysteries galore. Now, I can't help when Raya said about Starling City, or Star City and Metropolis, surely the whole Ray Palmer thing, then Star City was renamed Star City in his honour, that didn't happen on that Earth, on Supergirl's Earth, so it should still be Starling City. Maybe I'm just nitpicking there, to be honest. But I kind of feel like that was something which should have been changed a bit. But again, it is really, really nitpicky, to be honest. But the rest of the episode was very, very odd. I like that we had the Supergirl, Superman pep talk. Then we had the Maggie and Alex kind of relationship mentioned here with Supergirl. Then Maggie turns up behind her when she says, hold her tight. I was like, oh, that's really fucking convenient, isn't it? But the rest of this is just strange. So we've got the mystery of Mon-El. Where is he gone? He is now disappeared. Thank fuck. I don't like Mon-El. I'm not a fan of Mon-El. I like Mon-El in the comics, but I just don't think that they did his character justice. Making him that frat douchebag just did not work. Was a huge mistake, in my opinion, to get people to actually like him. But Mon-El is now gone. He's gone seemingly into the Phantom Zone. I will be doing a video more on that as well. He has gone, which just like in the comics, he leaves Earth, goes to the Phantom Zone, and comes back into the 30th century and is with the Legion of Superheroes, where in the comics, his kind of aversion to lead was actually solved. So there is that, and I'll probably just explain that more in another video later. Now we also have the pod mystery, which I don't like. Now at the end of season 1, we had a mysterious pod appear, and then it was Mon-El, which was stupidly revealed in the summer break. And now we've got another pod with some blood and all that. On the surface of it, it could be Doomsday, could be Darkseid, of course, as well. It could, which I really don't think it is going to be. There's Rain, which could be a version which seems to be the most likely, and there's HL, Hell, which is another character from New 52, which I'll probably do a video on that to explain and flesh out that just a tad more. Now, I'm excited for season 3. We've now got a huge mystery, and that's possibly going to be the villain. We had a shout out to Warworld again, so Mongul could be a villain next up, who is the evil leader of that planet, which I thought was going to be when we had the portal and we had Slaver's Moon. I thought that was going to be Warworld, which would have been freaking awesome, but it wasn't. So let me know what you think in the comments below of this episode and season 2 in general. Drop a like if you want me to do a full season 2 review as well. And I'll see you soon, and goodbye.